Hey team, look, we're going to talk today, right off the presses here, we're going to talk about some mindset work, some things that are super important, and they broke down just in two categories, and you'll hear it a lot. If you haven't heard it before, here you go. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. Which one are you? So at the end of this video, I really want you to take a hard look at all these components and just see how you're letting the world and how your mind is operating at this moment. First up, fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is you're basically set in your ways. You don't believe that anything changes. Like, number one thing is intelligence is setting in stone. And you think you're smart. Well, I've learned everything I'm going to learn. I'm ready to go. I watched this in different parts of just people, whether it's a young athlete, whether it's an adult that's working a 9 to 5, whether it's an aspiring entrepreneur. They become very routine driven, and you'll hear that term. It is what it is. No, it is not. It is what it is. So keep that in mind. Always be willing to learn. We'll cover that in a second. That's one of those characteristics of fixed mindset. Avoids challenges. You know, I think one of the biggest things we can do is just do hard things every day. Whether it's going hiking, new challenges, things that gives you new life and breathes new life into who you are and what you're trying to become. Even as we age and we're growing up, is just looking for new things to experience. And maybe that's going on a trip somewhere that you've never been. It's as easy as that. Shopping at a store that you've never been to before. But just avoiding challenges altogether. Gives up easy. Sees that obstacle and immediately stops. That's one of the biggest characteristics of fixed mindset. And it's also one of the biggest things that can be detrimental to an aspiring entrepreneur. Someone who's looking to get into, to leave their work and they want to go into business on their own. That can be not being able to navigate obstacles can be a huge detriment to just an entrepreneurial growth. Ignores effort. Big one. Whether it's in the gym, whether it's in life, whether it's how their friendships, everything requires some type of effort on our part. The effort that it took me to make this video, just to set everything up, get everything out, make sure my lighting's perfect, all those little things along those lines, and that play into just effort in general. You always hear that, oh, he's a born champion, or that's natural talent. You know, it's work. You don't see the work that entrepreneurs and athletes put in behind the scenes. Another big characteristics of negative or fixed mindset is blocks out feedback. Don't care what you think. That can be a huge... It's okay to have a little bit of that work because if it fits in your business, but just being able, when you fall short, to be able to receive some feedback to get better. Because we're always trying to get a little better each day, trying to be 1% better than you was yesterday. And taking feedback, and some people say criticisms, right? But just sometimes feedback and criticism go neck and neck. Depends on what hat. That fixed mindset hat lets you listen and you think everything is criticism when someone is just trying to help you be better. I ran into an old friend the other day, and I coined a phrase years ago with him through some of my years when adults and mentors were trying to corral me and get me manageable, so to say. And I told him, I was like, I'd listen. I heard what you said. I just wasn't ready to listen. I was listening to you the whole time. I just wasn't ready to take action on it. I heard what you said. I just wasn't ready to listen. That was one of the biggest things that was a fixed mindset for me back in the day. Threatened by others' success, that can be a big one. Jealousy, just because someone else is where you are or trying to go, blaming others, those can be things that fall into that fixed mindset. Just in that fixed mindset of negativity and why you are stuck in a box. So there's a point in time in this video or just in life when you start listening to people and you're trying to figure out why I can't get ahead. What is my problem? So what I just covered, if you'd like to rewind it and go through and be like, because I've listened to these videos before and I'll sit back and go, that's me, speaking directly to me. So I went to work. And trying to get better, and I learned the dream maker, growth mindset. Big deal. Opposite of everything we just talked about the first 5 minutes, 5 characteristics of growth mindset: believes in growing intelligence, never stop learning, embraces challenges. What do we got? Let's go. Do hard things every day. And if you can control the hard things you do every day, it makes the hard things that much more fun. Keeps on keeping on. Look, as long as you can, no matter how many failures that you face, no matter how many times that you fall back, just remember, if you're alive, the alarm clock or the bell or the sun comes up, whatever your rising mantra is when that happens, you're still here to make a difference in not only your life, but everyone else's life as well. So keep on keeping on. Values effort. You see it in your results. You see how your sweat equity is paying off through your team's effort, through your effort. You learn to appreciate how much goes into success. Just the ability for me to be able to develop the skills to sit down here and create this video to try to make the rest of the world better. Hopefully someday my kids are going to watch this and be like, yeah, he was shooting videos all the time or whatever. But the effort that I'm putting in to try to make everyone else better, I appreciate that myself. And I know that it's of tons of value for someone who's out there that's listening. So don't take for granted the efforts that you and your team put in. And then feedback. So number one thing is you got to be open to listen. I say number one thing a lot, right? Everything's the number one thing. Feedback is the number one thing. You have to be willing to listen to feedback, not criticism. It's a difference. I'll cover the difference between a coach and a critic in a future video because it came up with me and my wife the other day. But just remember, when I first started out, I was in a career where we got a lot of negative feedback. It was just product based. Sometimes folks weren't happy, but I also learned that not every complaint or not every piece of feedback was warranted. Like, hey, you have responsibility as well. So that sometimes the customer is not always right. So be analytical in your feedback, and as you're receiving it, read it, set it down if you're mad, read it again and say, is there anything in this feedback that we could do to help us be better? That's kind of the question that I always ask. I'll look at the feedback. If it's a 1-star review on Google, they did this, okay? Did we do that? And I'm going to go just create a little bit of a conversation with the team. Did we do this? Okay. All right, we can't do that again. This is right, so we need to fix that. So my response to the customer a lot of times is, thank you for taking time to leave me this review so we can get better. Sorry we fell short. Here's my number. Contact me directly so we can just continue this conversation offline and let me fix whatever issue it was. So that's it. That is the burning issues around growth mindset and fixed mindset. I have nothing else to report today. All right, make sure you follow, like, share it with your friends, and let's grow together. Have a good one.